Clive and Eva. In each episode, we talk to other business owners about their experiences, challenges, and successes. We'll also share tips and advice on how to grow your business and achieve your goals. If you're a business owner or you're thinking about starting a business, then the Business Owners Podcast is for you.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Business Owners Podcast. My name is Linda Reid Eniver, and along with Clive Eniver, I am your host for this podcast. In each episode, we bring to you a range of practical tips, expert insights, and inspiring stories from successful business owners, just like yourself. Over the next few episodes, we've delved into an interview series called The Lessons in Business. And this is where business owners join us and they share the lessons that they've learned within business. Today we have Janet Camilleri joining us for the episode. Welcome, Janet. Please introduce yourself to our listeners and say hi.
Hello, I'm Janet Camilleri from Front Page SEO. It's great to be here. How did I come to run a digital marketing agency? Well, it was a long and winding journey, a bit like when you see the pictures of success, it's never a straight up line. We tend to try a few different things and go all over the shop, and that was pretty much my journey. What I found is that people who specialise or love SEO tend to come to it through one of two ways. The first way is they are a website developer and they're interested in the coding and the technical side of things. The second way is through copywriting, because if done properly, SEO does rely on quality copywriting. Google has told us that they really value that. And of course, that's my background. So I have many years experience as a copywriter and a freelance journalist, a blogger as well. And 12 years ago, after I was made redundant, I decided to take the skills that I had and start my own business. Started off very much as a solopreneur and over the years have developed that business. And today I have a small team. We're all based here in Australia. We do all work remotely. Actually, all of us are in Brisbane except for Nicola, who's in Sydney. And today, look, I love getting up in the morning because I'm very passionate about helping other business owners find success. So how cool is it that I have a job that allows me to do that?
We want to kick off the Lessons in Business podcast with the answer from you about what's the most important lesson that you've learned within business. Now, I know for me, my most important lessons haven't actually always been about business success. They've been about maybe process improvement or those sorts of things. So we're asking you now, what was the most important lesson that you have learned within business and how did that make an impact on your business?
Being in business for myself was a really big change for me. I'd come from many years of working in government. So although I was very good at what I did, I had no idea how to run a business. So there were a lot of mistakes along the way, let's just say. Probably the biggest mistake I made was in about 2015. I wanted to take a month off to travel to Europe and have a holiday, and it was how I handled that. And look, I didn't value myself enough, and the mistake I made was twofold. First thing I did was I showed my client what to do while I was away, and I didn't charge them for that training. And secondly, I did myself out of a client by the time I got back. Of course, now I would handle that very differently, but it was an important step in my journey, something that I had to learn, that the knowledge I have is valuable. And also that there's such a thing as being too nice, which is what happened in this case.
We want to understand what is one mistake that you've made in your career early on that you would like others to avoid. I know personally in my career, I've made many mistakes, and I'm sure that there's things that many people would like to avoid. What is one mistake that you've made early on in your career that you would like to share with others so they can avoid making the same mistake?
Thinking about mistakes I made early in my career, to be honest, that's a really hard question to answer, because I wouldn't be where I am today without the mistakes that I've made in the past. But if I really had to choose one thing, it would be, I think it's an old saying, dress for the job you want, not the job you have. And as a young person, I did not appreciate the importance of that. And I remember I missed out on a very important job opportunity years ago because I didn't dress properly for the interview. There was a lot of reasons for that, but lesson learned, put it that way.
And throughout life in general, we have many mentors. I've been taught many lessons by my mentors. What's one standout lesson that has been taught to you by a mentor that you would like to share with our listeners so that they can maybe find out about this mentor themselves or find out about the tip or trick so that they can use it in their business life?
I worked with a business coach and mentor for a few years, only recently have on. And I think the biggest learning from that for me was that personal growth leads to professional growth. And there were things I needed to work on in my personal life. For me, one of the first things we worked on was assertiveness, which felt very strange to me at the time, but I can honestly say it has made such a difference, both personally, but particularly professionally in my business journey.
As we get wiser in business, we tend to be able to teach things to others. What's one lesson that you now teach your employees or people or clients around you that you find creates amazing impact? Our listeners would love to learn from you what that lesson is and how they can maybe teach that lesson as well. So if you can give some steps along the way in this question, that works really well.
The one lesson I'd like to teach others is pretty much a basic business lesson, but it also relates to SEO, and that is be a progressionist, not a perfectionist. And how it works with SEO is, look, you're better to get something up online on your website. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you need to have some content or something on there for Google to find it and start ranking it and having you show up in the search engine results. Over time, certainly you can polish it and perfect it. I really resist the idea of waiting until something's perfect before you hit the publish button. I say it's far better to just get it up there. And I think that's true in life and in business in general. Sometimes we just wait until everything's perfect. And look, there's no such thing as perfect, is there? So far better to do something step by step. What's that saying? Inch by inch, life's a cinch. So yard by yard is far too hard. So I'm a big proponent of be a progressionist, not a perfectionist.
Janet, thank you for sharing those valuable lessons you've learned along the way. It's inspiring to hear how you've embraced the progression over perfection, even embrace those mistakes to become who you are today. And you're right, without them, we don't become who we are. Your insights on SEO and the importance of valuing your skills are incredibly practical and they resonate with so many business owners. I particularly loved your advice on being a protagonist. It's such a powerful mindset for growth for both businesses and lives. Thank you for your candor and thank you for sharing those actionable steps our listeners can take to improve their business. Can you share with us now where our listeners can find you?
Sure. Well, it'd be great to connect with people that have an interest in learning more about Google and how to use SEO to really boost their business. There's a few ways they can do that. Of course, our website is frontpageseo.com.au. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. One thing I would suggest is joining our free Facebook group, which is SEO Chat Australia. It's a great place where we have a really lovely community and we post lots of tips and feedback, updates on the world of search engine optimization and how you can use that to help build your business online. And great place for you to ask curly questions and get more information, as well as connect with other like-minded business owners. So would love to connect with people online.
Janet, once again, thank you for joining us on the Business Owners Podcast. Your thoughtful reflections are sure to inspire and empower many of our listeners as they navigate their own business journeys. To our listeners, thank you for tuning in. We hope you found today's episode as insightful and as motivating as we did. Be sure to connect with Janet and explore her amazing resources for SEO and continue that learning and growing with her. And we'll be back next time with some more tips and stories and inspirations for business owners just like you. I will see you then. But if you haven't and this is your first time listening, make sure you subscribe so you can be updated when amazing episodes like this pop in and go live.
Thanks for listening to the Business Owners Podcast. We encourage you to connect with us on social media and join our community of business owners at businessbusinessbusiness.com.au.
Ever see an idea so clearly in your head but struggle to make it real? We've all been there. With Wix, you can build a website for your business just the way you pictured it. Get the best of both worlds with AI and drag and drop tools all in one place. Stay in your creative flow and use AI when you want, how you want. Create a website your way. Try it out at Wix.com.
Vrbo makes it easy to claim your dream summer spot with early booking deals. From homes with pools to poolside loungers. When you book a Vrbo, you don't have to reserve any loungers. They're all yours. Get that early booking deal at Vrbo.com.